So I was listening to this song this morning, Be Still. No, it wasn't Be Still, sorry. It was Constant by Maverick. I'll link it down below. And there's words in it that just says Be Still. And it talks about Jesus being on the boat and about the storm raging all around. And then he commands, be still. And it just clicked on me. I was like, that Bible verse has been taught so many different ways, and I've always just seen it that the power of God, like once he speaks and things happen. But it also just came to my mind that, and it was with another verse in Exodus, be still and know that I am God, or be quiet. It's with the Israelites coming out of Egypt, and that all you have, these enemies before you, you'll never see again. All you have to do is be quiet, be still. And there might be another verse as well. And God had brought me these verses at the very, very start of all the chaos in my life, and that just spoke to me that you're on the boat, but you're on the boat with Jesus, so it's okay. And there's a raging sea all around, just everything's chaotic in your life. It could be really chaotic, I don't know, maybe work's really stressful, and it's just mangling your head, or there's stuff going on in your family with your kids and they're wayward and it's just so stressful, or someone's sick in your family and you just don't know what to do, and there's just so much going on, and you can see it all happening. It's crazy, it's all mad, and yet Jesus just says, be still. Be still. And maybe he's not just talking to the waves. You know, we always have been taught he talks to the waves and everything will calm down. But sometimes he just asks you to be still. Everything else is still going on. Everything else is still crazy. It looks like nothing's changed. But sometimes he asks you to be still. And I have this wee thing I was bought, I don't know who bought me it, and it said sometimes he calms the storm and sometimes he calms the child and lets the storm rage on. And I suppose the only reason he's letting the storm rage on, there's a purpose in that. There's a reason why he's permitting. Motorbikes right today. There's a reason why he's permitting all that stuff to go on, and it's probably got nothing to do with you. It's nothing to do with you, but it's still going on in your life. Other people have caused these storms, and yet you're still part of it. You're still in the middle of it all. But maybe that storm that's going on is really their storm and not yours, and God's asking you just to be still and be quiet. Wait, be quiet, be still. And that's what I seen, was like him on the boat and him just saying be still, but he wasn't saying be still to the waves, which he was in the story, but he was also commanding the disciples and everybody that was sitting around him, because he said to them, you've no faith, and then be still. And it's an instruction to our lives, is to be still sometimes and just wait for God to calm the storm. He still calms the storm either way, you know. So there's stuff going on in your life. Sometimes we just have to be still, and how I be still is I'll put some music on and all this is going on, and I'll go into my living room and I'll put it on my TV, and my kids will be away doing whatever, and I'll just sit there in the presence of God. And I like Jeremy Riddle's Be Still is a cracking song. It just calms you right down. There's been other songs I've been listening to that has popped onto my YouTube playlist, and it's Grace Idowu, don't know how to say her surname, but she's a cracking voice. It's really unusual, and it's so lovely and so genuine. You know, she's got that, I don't know where she's from, but she's got that accent that comes through in her songs, and it's so lovely. It's so lovely. And another person that is completely slept on, I believe he's completely slept on, is Corey Miller. I think he sings with a group in Red Rocks Worship, wherever that is. I'm not sure, it must be in America. But Corey Miller, the presence of God sits on that fella. understanding will come upon you, and they'll give you the strength to go on another day through that storm. Because everything has its time and its season. Everything's for a purpose. There's nothing new under the sun. With God, I don't think he's sitting up there going, oh goodness, I didn't see that was going to happen in Emma's life. No, he knew everything. But sometimes he's just calling us to sit in the storm, Emma, be still, learn how the peace of God works, because you're going to have more of these in your life. And it's time to grow up and get real and know the presence of God and how to sit in it when everything's going mad. So that's my words of wisdom for the day. You have to sit in the storm and just learn to be still. Yeah. And I have practiced that. Past year, not very well. Sometimes it doesn't go very well. I'm like so frustrated. And I'm like, Lord, why not do nothing yet? Fix this. It's like, no, me bit longer, Emma. Just know my presence. Know how to sit in my presence in this terrible storm. Alright. So that's all I have to say about that. Try that.